What's going on, guys? Parker here, and I am back with another video. And today I got my top NBA and NFL prize picks player props for the day, or just any DFS app / sportsbook, anything player props for the day. And before I get in this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you are new, because I post videos every single day on NBA, NFL, MLB when MLB is going on, all player prop videos. And I do want to start looking into more like spread money line videos as well, because sports betting is legal now in Kentucky. So I've been playing a lot on Fanduel as well recently. And then also, guys, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up as well, because it really helps out my channel out a ton. Helps push this content to a new audience, helps push the content out to more and more people. And I really would appreciate it. And then also, guys, before we get into these plays, I want to talk a little bit about the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizers. So the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is pretty much a sports betting tool that is going to give you the best mathematical odds to hit your plays every single day. And there's so many vouchers out there. If you use the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer long term, you're going to be profitable. It's just as simple as that. And how to work the tool pretty much is it's going to tell you over or under what to take, obviously, and obviously what the line is and what you're taking. So, for example, here we got Jaylen Milroe under 209.5 pass yards, 54% hit rate, or 53.9% odds to hit, minus 114 on the books at 201.5, so an 8 discount on PrizePicks, 8-yard discount, and it's still minus odds on the books at 201.5, and then it's got minus 135 odds. Anything like that, this line will likely get bumped down at some point, so you want to take the over there, or want to take the under there. Always as well, once you get into the 130s, minus 130s, minus 140s, like for example, this shots on goal right here, Jack Hughes, 4 shots on goal under, minus 136, minus 164 at 4.5, minus 148, minus 160 at 4.5. Like, it's telling you this line's going to get bumped again, guys. So you're going to want to take the under on this Jack Hughes, because anything once it gets to, 4, minus 140, minus 150, minus 130. Honestly, the lines usually get bumped on PrizePicks, so you got to be quick with it. But if you don't have the time to, research every day or even watch a YouTube video like myself, then you want to make sure to get this, get the optimizer, because you can put your sports betting plays in every single day super fast without doing any research or any work on your own. So it's super convenient. And if you want to sign up today and get 25% off your first month, then go ahead and click the top link in the description to my link tree. And then the optimizer is the top link in my link tree. And you can go ahead and use code FIELDSFOCUS at checkout for 25% off your first month. But without further ado, let's get right into today's plays. So first off, I got Pascal Siakam over 22.5 points versus the Jazz. He's over this line in 2 of his last 3 games. The Jazz allow the 4th most points per game to power forwards, or not power forwards, just to forwards in general in the NBA. So small forwards, power forwards, whatever. He's over this line in 5 of his last 9 versus the Jazz. And he's averaging 24.4 points per game over December. He's been really good in December, been a really good player. This Jazz team really has nobody to match up with Siakam right now. I don't think Lauri Markkanen is playing tonight. I can double check on that. But even if Lauri Markkanen plays, it doesn't really matter. Honestly, he's not the best defender. But I don't think Lauri Markkanen is playing. Let me check real quick right here. Let me check for us right here. Yeah, I don't think he's playing tonight. If he does, it doesn't matter. Honestly, he's still going to go under this line, in my opinion. Or over this line, in my opinion. Siakam has a great matchup here versus the Jazz. They struggle versus the forward position. And I just think this is a game where Siakam gets off, has a big night. And I really like this line tonight. So Pascal Siakam over 22.5 points versus the Jazz is my first play of the day. Next up, I got DeAaron Fox over 27.5 points versus the Timberwolves. Now, yes, the Timberwolves are the best defense in the NBA, but they've definitely been struggling as of late, struggling more as of late. He's over this line in 15 of his 21 games for this season. The Timberwolves are allowing the 9th most points per game to point guards over the last 2 weeks. He's over this line in 9 of his last 12 games versus the Timberwolves. Not just that either. There's tons of, 40-point games in there, 35-point games in there in that list. So he's been absolutely dominant versus the Timberwolves. Timberwolves have been struggling more as of late, giving up more points than they usually have been. And this line is just simply lower than normal. It's at 27.5. Usually you're snagging this line, at 29.5, 30.5, 31.5. So just great value here, great odds here. All he needs is 28. So DeAaron Fox over 27.5 points versus the Timberwolves is my second play of the day. Next up for my third play, I got Jaylen Brunson over 25.5 points versus the Bucks. The Bucks allow the third most points per game in the NBA to point guards this season. Bucks allow the second highest field goal percentage to point guards in the NBA this season. For Brunson, he's had 40 plus in two of his last three versus the Bucks. Sorry, that was just horribly written. I know what that meant to say, though. It was two of his last three. Accidentally put. Just didn't make sense there at all. Overall, just a really good matchup for Brunson. Bucks defense, we know, take the point guards over versus that Bucks defense, and we're doing that once again tonight. So Jaylen Brunson, or actually just in a couple hours, but Jaylen Brunson over 25.5 points versus the Bucks is my third play of the day. Next up, for my fourth and final NBA play, I got Damian Lillard over 37 PRA versus the Knicks. He's pushed or gone over this line in 4 straight games. He's over this line in 5 straight games versus the Knicks. Knicks are allowing 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds per game to point guards over the last month. Point guards have been playing really well versus the Knicks. Obviously, Damian Lillard is a point guard. Obviously, we know Damian Lillard has a really good matchup here in this game. Obviously, Damian Lillard's going to soar over this line. I think it's a great matchup for Lillard. I think he's going to play really well tonight. I think just overall, Damian Lillard's going to have a day. He loves to play against the Knicks, that team that almost traded for him and everything like that. So we know he loves to play against the Knicks. We know he feasts against the Knicks. So Damian Lillard over 37 PRA versus the Knicks is my fourth and final NBA play. Now let's move to the NFL. First up, I got Josh Allen over 246.5 pass yards versus the Chargers. He's over this line in 9 of his 14 games this season. The Chargers allow the third most passing yards in the NFL this season. Bills will likely win this game. Not the best game script whatsoever for this because the Bills likely have the lead. However, I think Allen's going to cover this line in the first 2 or 3 quarters with the horrible Chargers pass defense. And honestly, I think the Chargers come out and play better today. I think they're not going to play as bad as they did this week or last week and get blown out by 50 because honestly, I think that the Chargers are going to play better without Brandon Staley coaching them, and I think they might have half-assed it because they didn't want Brandon Staley anymore, just my opinion. But overall, I think Josh Allen has a huge night tonight. Probably 300-something yards, 3 touchdowns, something like that from Josh Allen. So Josh Allen over 246.5 pass yards versus the Chargers is my 5th play of the day. Next up, for my 6th and final play, I got Joe Mixon over 47.5 rush yards versus the Steelers. Steelers allow the 5th most rush yards in the NFL to running backs this season. He's over this line in 8 of his 11 career games versus the Steelers. He's over this line in 6 of his 6 games on the road this season. Great matchup for Mixon, allowing the 5th most rush yards to running backs in the NFL. I know he only had 16 yards the other week versus the Steelers, but I think that wasn't really, a him problem, and I think that was more of just the Bengals offense wasn't very good yet. With the Jake Browning, that was Jake Browning's first game as a starter, so I just don't think they respected Jake Browning a lot, and they were comfortable with letting Jake Browning throw the ball. So I think Mixon going to have a heavy dose in the run game today. I think the Bengals also win this game, so they have a lead in the game a good amount, and Mixon gets a lot of carries. So Joe Mixon over 47.5 rush yards versus the Steelers is my 6th and final play for the day and my 2nd NFL play. So those were my top NFL and NBA or NBA and NFL PrizePicks player props for the day. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up as it really helps the channel out a ton. Helps push my content out to more and more people, and I really would appreciate it, guys. But those were all for my plays. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to sign up for the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer today with the top link in the description to my link tree. And then the optimizer is the top link in my link tree. And then use code FIELDSFOCUS at checkout for 25% off your first month. But without further ado, guys, I will see you on the next.